how much have you exactly been making like in the last month with remote closing?
Okay, in dollars, since the start of December, I've made 5.5, just under 5.6K. I mean, every month's been a bit different.
Mhm.
In October, I had my best month, so it was 7. Honestly, it's been amazing. It's been a wild ride so far.
Hmm. Awesome. So first of all, congratulations to that. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Markus Dunk here. And today I'm sitting here with our wonderful client, Fiona from Ireland, who has been absolutely crushing it inside of our remote closing mentoring program. So I decided to just invite her today to chat about her experience inside of the program, her story a little bit, and yeah, see what is her story and what challenges and wins she actually got. So Fiona, welcome. Super excited to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing grand. How are you?
I'm doing very good. I'm super excited for this for this call, of course, today. So let's start right there. Like, how much have you exactly been making like in the last month with remote closing?
Okay, in dollars, since the start of December, I've made 5.5, just under 5.6K.
US dollars.
In US dollars, yeah. I mean, every month's been a bit different. Like in November, I went on holidays, so it was a little less. I made around 3.
Mhm.
In October, I had my best month, so it was 7. So I mean, there's quiet times, but honestly, it's been amazing. It's been a wild ride so far.
Hmm. Awesome. So first of all, congratulations to that. That's a pretty big milestone, right? It's just the beginning for you, right? But it's definitely yeah, very good results already. So congratulations for that. So yeah, let's dive right in. I'm curious to learn a bit more about like what was your life before you meeting me and learning about remote closing and also learning inside of our community and our mentoring program. Share us a little bit about the backstory of Fiona.
All right. Yeah, I never felt good in the 9 to 5. You know, I was doing different jobs. I went to university. I did the normal thing that you're meant to do. And I was working in cinemas, factories, retail, all of this kind of stuff. And then when COVID hit, it really put a spanner in the works for me. I was like, okay, wow, what do I want to do? And my whole goal was to move to France and to teach English so I can travel the world. And then I realized when I got to France 2 years ago that teachers don't make that much money, right? Because there's somebody in Asia selling the same skill for like €5 an hour or $5 an hour, right? So I came across yourself on a Instagram page, I think on like Passionate Income or something it was called. And I clicked through and yeah, that kicked this whole thing off. It's really for me, it was about having time and location freedom. So it's really what I've achieved. And yeah, it's been great.
Okay, awesome. So you kind of went the road of, okay, let me become a teacher somewhat because you can work remotely. But then the challenge was, if I understood you correct, is like the income was not as you thought it might be. So that also brought us some challenges for you.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just working another 9 to 5, but in a different country in a different language, if that makes sense. So I was just like, yeah, this is not it either. So I kept looking and I mean, it's super interesting. Closing is like teaching in a way because you're still helping people. So it's super rewarding. But I love that kind of human interaction side of things as well. So it's a match, you know.
Good match for you. Absolutely. Yeah, cool. Okay. And then what was your life like immediately after, going through, let's say, the first part of the mentoring?
Um, it was a wee bit tough, I'll be honest, because people around me, like I said to my mom, I wanted to do mentorship. And she was like, oh, it's a scam. And I was like, okay, but you haven't seen all the videos that I watched and you haven't done the research and you haven't talked to this guy, you know? And even like my partner, bless him, he's super supportive of me now that he sees the work that's gone in and this is real and that this is my job now. However, he also was really skeptical. I mean, he was on the call with me whenever I chatted to you guys first, and it was like a no from the start. But you know, we got into it and I found a total turnaround. We focused on mindset, we focused on, you know, cracking down on discipline basically. And I feel like a totally different person, to be honest, after I've done it.
Well, I'm glad that you pushed through and you
Yeah.
kind of came to the decision to actually pull the trigger on this. How did you go about it? Because I can relate if you have a partner and then your partner might not be on board or still skeptical, or even your family. oftentimes they just, you know, want you to be safe, so they don't want you to make like the wrong decision. And but they also at the same time not have the same background information or the same context to what you want to do. So how did you close your family or your partner on actually, you know, getting their approval? Or maybe you didn't. Like, tell us a little bit about that part of like when you were joining and you had some resistance from people that are close to you.
Yeah. Well, I had a budget, you know, and when I say I had a budget, I didn't have a budget. I took out a loan to do this. I didn't have the money. But I suppose with my partner, you know, he's super supportive in everything I do. He just said, as long as you know, take responsibility for it, go for it, you know. And yeah, in the end, it was like a conversation of I've always done everything that I'm meant to do. Like I went to uni, I went and I've done jobs and I've tried to get onto the career ladder and it's just not making me happy. I teach, you know, I'm teaching and it's still just not it for me. So I said, you know what, even though I felt like it was a risk, I just said it's up to me at the end of the day. So I did, I suppose, close him in a way, and close my mum as well. But I think that they're now that they see this is actually working, like, you know, they're proud of me. So it's good.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's great. Interesting. So you actually you took the risk even to take out a loan. So you didn't have the money. You took out a loan. How did that work out for you?
I'm still paying it back because I also am enjoying my time, to be honest with you. Like I went on holidays there to Budapest with all my friends and I'm just having a blast, but I am paying it back much quicker than I thought I would have. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping now because I set myself the goal of 10K before the end of the year. So I'm on
Yep,
track. And if I hit that, then I'll have it literally paid back because it's a 4-year loan. I'll have it paid back before the end of the year. So
that's awesome. That's good. Yeah, because oftentimes people are, from what I hear, they're sometimes not scared, but they're on the fence of, okay, should I finance this? Should I not finance this? And people are financing everything, cars, like it's crazy what people are actually financing if you look into that, right? Or even universities. You know, sometimes people or aspiring students, they don't think twice about taking out a student loan when it comes to something about like self-education or online education. They're kind of more skeptical, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's good to hear that for you. You know, you turn it around, you pay it back by the end of the year, and it was a great decision, and you kind of could make it work because of that. That's awesome.
that's the thing.
Um, like if you look at our mentoring program, you know that we have with my team, what was for you personal? I understand it's for everyone, it's different, but what was personally for you the biggest lesson that you got from your time with us?
Oh
If it
God.
just be one
Just
lesson.
going, I think it's how bad I was at listening and how much I needed to improve that, you know. It's all about active listening and, you know, practice and closing everywhere you go. And I think that I realized that I wasn't even half listening to the people around me most of the time, you know. So I'd say that's probably my biggest lesson.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's not just business, also in your personal life, right? All of the sudden, if you get better with listening, the people around you, um, has a big impact for sure.
Yeah, relationships improve. And honestly, the team, like the community that we have in there, I've never met a group of people quite like them. And the team as well. The team are experts, and it's just like I wish I could nearly go back and do it again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To be fair, like my journey was 2.5 months, 2 months, and I got on an opportunity. So I felt like I was kind of jumping in the deep end before I was fully ready. But at the end of the day, like what you guys preach is, you know, massive imperfect action. So
Yes.
I have to embody.
You never will feel 100% ready. I can tell you that. So good job on that one. Just taking the leap and jumping into it. Share a little bit about with us, how does your day-to-day look like right now, right? Like what is a typical, if you have a typical day, like what does it look like right now?
Um, it's a good question. Every day is a wee bit different. I try and work a few evenings and then I try and work a few, you know, daytimes. I choose when I work, which is nice. I have a great team. I work with an amazing team, where we have a really good offer in terms of delivery. So like what we're actually selling is, you know, on the other side of things, it's a mentorship, just like your one, where people actually do what's said in the tin, if that makes sense. You know, they actually do what they say.
Mhm.
So in terms of the delivery side of things, so I do Airbnb arbitrage. So we
Yes.
help people, you know, get their Airbnb businesses off the ground. And I always tell my clients, you know, when you get your keys for your first apartment, just send me a picture. And when I get these pictures, like, it just makes me so happy. You know, it makes them laugh as well because it's like the start of their journey. They're nervous too, but it's quite inspiring. So to go back to your question, sorry. So I would wake up in the morning. Sometimes we have huddles, but I'll do a few calls, and then in the evening I'm pretty much free to do what I want, or vice versa, you know. So I do calls, I do follow-ups in terms of just checking in on people who maybe didn't close, to make sure that, you know, I can still support them if they want to close, if they want to join more so. But that's pretty much my day. I do work hard because you know, when you work for yourself in sort of a way that you have to feed the line as well. It's not just you have to think about, you have to think about the whole team, the people who've put in work before you, and you have to try and honor that as well.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And of course you're working hard, otherwise you wouldn't be here today, right? Right. So yeah, that's good. That's awesome. So it means basically your day is pretty flexible. Sometimes you work in the morning, sometimes in the evening. You have a couple of calls, couple of huddles with the team. It seems like you have a great team, you know, great offer. Um, and that's sometimes where people get confused. So let's see what you have to say about this, Fiona. How would you describe to someone, like, what is it that you do? Like, how would you explain that to someone, like in your own words?
I have tried before. No, I'm only messing. I suppose I say like I'm at the end of the line. So when somebody's interested in buying something, they pass through a few other people, and my job is to get the contract signed, to collect the money, and to get them onboarded. That's basically what I do. And also to make sure that what I'm selling is what they actually need as well.
Absolutely. Okay. So no cold calling. You don't have to book your own appointments into your calendar. It's literally you open your slots, appointment's going to get booked in, and then you just show up at the call, talk with the other person, figure out if the offer, in your case, it's like the Airbnb arbitrage, like kind of the real estate offer or make money online offer. I guess it's like a mentorship program as well, something like the education program. And then you just talk with them and make sure that actually the offer and what you have is a good match and makes a good click with the situation that the other person is finding themselves in, or what they want, the aspiration, the problems that they might have. And then if it is, you just help them to sign up, you know, process the investment, the contract and all of that, or the agreement. And yeah, and then send them on their way to the onboarding, so to say.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
You've done this a few more times than me, I can see.
Yeah, I was still curious to see like what, like how you describe it, but you described it very, very well. Um, Fiona, what would you say, like, um, what do you feel like your life will be 2, 3 years from now, like as a result of learning closing, and then of course, as a result of the experience and the people that you've met inside of our program, inside of our community? Like, what do you think, how will life be in 2, 3 years from now for you?
It's a great question. I think that I'll definitely be at the stage of either I'm going to still be traveling, or I'll have come back around the world and be looking at buying a house or settling down. Something that was really for myself. I don't know, do you know anything about the situation in Ireland at the moment? But in terms of housing, it's a pipe dream. You know, it's impossible to get a mortgage. It's really, really hard. So the fact that I know that I'll have these funds coming in, I think it's just nearly like combating the cost of living crisis even. So I think that I'll definitely, hopefully, definitely be on 10K by a month by then. And yeah, I'll be really looking at settling down, I think, and actually just setting my life up for the future with a nice big house, a nice big garden, probably, as boring as that sounds, you know, 2, 3 years down the line.
I think that sounds great. In Ireland?
Maybe in France, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, you travel a lot between those two countries, right?
Exactly.
Wasn't it even that you were considering like closing in French at some point as well? I think I heard something about you say that.
I do get quite a few offers on LinkedIn in French, like just like je cherche un clauseuse, and I'm like, oh, my French accent is not so great, not yet. So maybe in the future. I mean, there's so many opportunities, you know.
Yes. Yeah. It's always an asset. Sometimes I have people asking me, okay, Marcus, I speak with I mean, for you, that's not the case, right? But sometimes I have students or people who are interested in becoming a student and they're worried about, okay, my English is not like perfect. I speak with an accent, but I speak Spanish or I speak French or I speak German, right? And I always tell them it's an asset. Like you can close in German, in French, in Spanish. Like there's a world out there, there's a market out there, right? So it's definitely an asset if you speak multiple languages, or in your case, if you speak French, that's perfect. You do it in English and French. So that's really, really good. What would you say, Fiona, to someone that might not be 100% sure about our program? Let's say it's someone who maybe already had a call with our team, but they're kind of on the fence. They're not 100% sure about joining. They're not 100% sure if it's the right thing for them or not, if they should take the risk. They kind of find themselves in a situation like you were in before. Maybe they're thinking about taking out a loan, a credit. What would you tell someone like that if you would, if they would be asking you, hey, like, I'm not sure about this?
I would probably say just to be really honest with yourself. I mean, how are you going to do it? How are you going to get yourself out of this situation? Why did you book the call? For myself, I would do it 100 times over. I would make the same decision again and again because I was sure, I knew in my gut that if I didn't try this, I'd regret it. I was like the most skeptical as well at the start, but then I chatted with Davis, and the conversation that I had with him really just struck a chord with me to say, damn, if I don't do it this way, then how am I going to do it? So, I mean, for myself, also what my partner said, as long as you do it, take responsibility. And that's what I did. And I really give it up my all. I showed up to every call. I really tried to live it as well. And it works. So I would say just do it.
Awesome. Yeah, you've definitely been an A-player student, right? A dream student, a dream client, very coachable. The POW showing up, right? So you have been there. That's great. Awesome. Yeah. Fiona, is there anything else that you want to mention before we wrap things up? Anything else that you want to share? Anything else we haven't talked about that you still would like to chat about? Anything that's still important, you think, to say, to communicate?
Um, Not really. I suppose just thank you so much. Like, thank you, thank the team. I mean, I have thanked the team, but I want to just thank them every day because I mean, I'm only here because of you guys as well at the end of the day. Like the actual mentorship, it works. It does what it says in the tin. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much.
Yeah, I can just pass that on to our great team, right? We really have an amazing team, an amazing community, and I can also only give that back to you. You've been really a great client, a dream client, and I know you're going to be crushing it going forward as well. The 10K, they're closer than you think, right? It's just about scaling it up from here. And yeah, super, super happy to have you part of our community. And yeah, also thank you for taking the time for this interview today.
I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, Marcus.
Awesome. If you're still watching this, first of all, congratulations to you as well of watching this until the end. We're actually going to put a link down below where you can check out a free training that I put together with a step-by-step plan on how you could get started as well with remote closing, and you might as well then can get some results like Fiona did here if you're willing to put in the work. So yeah, I see you the next time. And Fiona, thank you so much. I see you inside of our community.